I'm ChosenArchitect, and this is All the Mods Volcano Block. Boy, do I have a lot planned for today's episode, and this is first going to start off with me expanding applied energistics and adding more crafting pattern providers. Now, there is a bigger pattern provider that you can make from the Mega mod, also adds the like extra cells, and but it's only allowed to work for these processing patterns. Unfortunately, I can't use it here. Otherwise, I'd be able to get away with just using what I had. So I added more crafters, basically doubling. And the way that I have this set up is I added some more peer-to-peer up here. And basically I have them linked, giving myself access to some more channels right here. So they are connected to this peer-to-peer, which then connects into here using 8 of the channels out of the total of 32 that are connected right here. So with that connected, I can go ahead and facade this back up, but I did want to show this off because this is how I was able to find the cables, and that is by using this network tool. So if you open up the network tool, you can actually toggle on and off the facades while you have them, allowing you to be able to see all the facades inside. So this is a really, really useful tool, and apparently it can also store your pattern upgrades as well, which is also very, very nice. And apparently you can't put it back inside of the grid as well. You can't like put it in here, so you're probably not going to lose it, which is really nice. Now, I know you may be wondering, Chosen, how do you have an orange mech suit? Yeah, it's actually pretty darn cool. And if you were to have watched till the end of last episode, I did explain how to do that at the end of that episode. But just to go ahead and fill you in this episode, as you can see, it is all dyed orange. You don't actually dye it. You actually need to make a color modulation unit, and this allows you to choose the color of all of your gear, which is really nice. But you do have to put it on each one of your pieces, and believe me, it starts to get kind of expensive, but it is so worth it. This looks so good. Oh, the orange, even though it makes my head super tiny, it is so good, and I really like that I can change the color of this. Now on to what is actually going to happen today, and that is still in regards to what we were working on last episode and how I was like, I want to manage our time better, right? And so we needed to start working on things that are going to take the most amount of time and work our way up. And in that case, the thing that we need to work on now is getting all of the materials for all the Modium alloys. All the Modium alloys require a lot of unobtainium, all the Modium, and vibranium, all of those things. And 2 of those we don't have technically automated yet, nor do we have chickens set up for. And I definitely want to get the chickens set up for them. So to do that, we have to go into some special biomes. Now, I did farm up a little bit of vibranium, just real quick, as it was very, very simple to do that. So I actually ended up with just the perfect amount. I had 32 of the raw ore and was able to go ahead and increase that. Now, of course, you can get the nuggets, by the way, from those chests from just finding the biome. So if you don't want to have to find it underground, you can definitely find it this way. Probably going to take a little bit longer doing it this way. So yeah, with our fortune, we have enough ingots that I should now be able to make the gears required for a couple more of these laser bases. That's right. We now should be able to craft up 2 more laser bases because we're going to need to put these in a different area. And this is how we're going to generate unobtainium and vibranium for now. And also it'll probably generate several other ore types because one of these is going to go into the end. Now, just another fair warning. I like to definitely warn you guys when doing some crazy crafts like this. Make sure you're not using the fortune pick that you're probably using at this point to be able to mine vibranium, because these will consume those picks. So you got to be kind of careful when making more of these laser miners. But yeah, 2 more is all we need, because in order to get vibranium, this needs to go in a warped forest or crimson forest biome, which we can find in the nether, and then also better done with a green laser lens, which 1 laser lens should be more than enough. And then for the unobtainium, this needs to go with a purple lens in an end highland. So all of these biomes are very easy to find. We can use a biome compass if we really need to, but technically I should already be in an end highland because that is where end cities spawn. So I believe if we go to our end city location, we should definitely have that there. So instead of going to the nether, I'm actually going to use the other because it was just a lot simpler for me to set up because it does have an overworld. What I'm going to do is place this in here. Now I'm going to hit F3 and G to be able to see the chunk bounds, because I kind of want this in a singular chunk. So that should be perfectly fine right here. And then I just need to place this in. Now I'm going to use modular routers in order to power up all of our laser lenses that we're going to need for this. And then what I'm going to do is, for right now, I'm just going to use a warp scroll in order to get here, so we can travel back and forth. So this is going to be a good time for me to be able to show how these the actual laser drills can work, because I can actually place the laser drills all like so, and they will still work. You can see right here, because of this range, so long as you place them within here, they will work. So I'm actually going to be adding several of these, and I could put them right up next to here as well, and or just simply do this with them, and they would also still work. So yeah, you can kind of put this in any pattern you want. I'm going to be putting 2 or basically 8 of them per on this particular setup, because I need to generate a little faster. All the Modium has already had the time to generate, but this one has not. So this is going to be producing vibranium. So I'm going to put this in. Also check our depth. It does say that it needs to be 100, and then right here is the 123. So we need it definitely under 123 in order for this to work. So yeah, I'll do 120. That should be more than enough for right now. Oh boy, I've got company. By the way, notice that yeah, this color has been changed. Yep, the color of the sword. I just recently found out that you can use the mage book and set the color. And whenever you apply the spell, it actually changes the sword color. Because I was wondering how you actually change the sword color. And so I'm glad I was able to find that out via the comments from you guys. Now, of course, directly on top here, I do want to make sure to put a modular router, but I also am going to need an ender chest that this is going to send the items to. Of course, we have the items already flooding in. We're also going to make sure to claim this chunk, just like so. You can also use the point to also claim the chunk as well. But modular router right on top. There we go. And I'm going to be doing the same setup, basically max speed upgrade, max energy upgrade with a point on top. And this should be the exact amount from a single energy distributor. We should be able to just simply select all of these and bam, distribute all of the power that we need directly to these. Now, automatically, this is going to start working, but then again, I'm also going to need my upgrades sent to this. And this same thing is going to be repeated in the Highlands, so keep that in mind. But yeah, I think it's a pretty cool like representation of showing how this this all works here. Like, I really like this. So yeah, we definitely need to get our upgrades going. These stack in 16s, by the way, which is kind of interesting. But thankfully, we can just drag these in. And they just all fit just like they're supposed to. So there we go. Processing very, very fast. And yeah, with this particular lens in this particular biome, we should now start to see small quantities of vibranium ore starting to show up. And once we have, I believe, 64 of the ingots, which all we need is 32 of the raw, we can then start producing them with the chickens, which I think is going to be ultimately the best way to generate these. Now, for the end version, or to be able to get the unobtainium, we need to go to the end city, and this should be an end's highland. So yes, this is an end highland right here. I can see it by just looking at our F3, and I think I can just put it inside of here. Well, actually, I'm just going to do it outside. I think that'll be the best way to do this. So yes, the exact same setup, but instead needs to go out here, and I'm gonna have to wait around, I think, a little bit for all of these. Like for example, this one, I'm gonna actually set it up like this to kind of demonstrate that no matter how you set this up, it will work. And by the way, you can extend it out one more, and you can do this vertically as well, which is just really powerful. You can make this thing go so fast, and you can just use the wireless setup like I'm doing right now to power these, and they will go. They will go. You can make this the fastest way to generate ores in this pack. So now whenever you do set up this laser drill, there is a little bit of a bug apparently that is producing these empty tag forge raw material azure silver. Do not place these, because if you do, you won't be able to break them without going into creative mode, because technically this is a barrier block that this has produced. And yeah, it's an unbreakable block. So and it's also, a barrier block. So once you place it down, you won't be able to break it. So be very careful with that. as that can cause problems. But of course, we do want to make sure we void these if we can. I really don't know how well it is going to be able to work with it. Hopefully we can put it in a drawer and hopefully void it off as if it was just another item. It's supposed to be this item, but as you can see, it doesn't exist, so it's generating this instead. But look at that, it's already generated unobtainium. And I think the reason why this generates it faster is because it looks like the loot pool that this is generating at this depth in this biome is actually very small. It's just obtainium, this item, the iridium, and then also unobtainium. So we're going to be generating a lot more unobtainium than vibranium, I think, from this farm. So I think for right now, because I don't have any vibranium that has been generated yet, which I'm going to go double check that and make sure I did everything correctly. I'm going to go ahead and get these put in. Yeah, this seems very odd that these are even in here. But yeah, obsidian, I should put this in a compacting machine, but I feel like the way that I'm generating obsidian, which is over here, is probably going to be way better than how this is working. So I'm just going to go ahead and put them here. Vibranium is going to go right here. And that, I think, is just about everything that is being generated. Now I just got to go through the lag fest that is putting this in my main hand. Because as soon as I put this linking tool in my main hand, it causes so much lag for some reason when selecting the drawer network. It's very weird, but it does do that. And of course, we want to make sure we void this specifically. And we can even technically, no, I'm not going to avoid the obsidian. I'm just going to go ahead and add a couple of nice upgrades to it. And I think that will work just fine. Specifically gold. Get some gold upgrade added to these. Oh, I forgot to lock this drawer. So that's probably an issue as well. We need to make sure we lock these. Yeah, otherwise I'm going to end up having some problems as well. So there we go. They're all locked up. Make sure this gets pulled out and unlock. There we go. And lock it empty because I'm going to put vibranium there. So this actually might be an issue that you also encounter, which is kind of funny because I love encountering issues that I can figure out a solution to. This biome is actually not the same biome. Even though this is a crimson forest, it's technically not a crimson forest. It's an all the Modium crimson forest, not a nether crimson forest. So this is probably why we're not generating vibranium. But if we were to take this whole system and put it in the actual nether, then we're definitely going to generate it. So I am now in the nether, and this is the crimson forest. So this should be where we need to be. I need to figure out sort of the middle of a chunk, roughly. And there we go. Place an angel block. And that's all we need. I'm going to go ahead and actually just use some 10 blocks here to set this up. Goofy enough, I know. But yeah, we're only going to need a little bit of a platform, and I'm going to reset this back up. And then now it should be generating the vibranium. And so after setting this up, immediately we're gathering glowstone dust, glowstone blocks, and vibranium ore. So that is what is generated so far before I start sending it back into the chest. And there we go. Yeah, this is definitely going to generate it faster than me going and, yeah, mining it all up. So it's now time to make some chickens. So let's get our chicken catchers, because I'm going to need a couple of these. Let's see, make sure we have a nice empty one. And we'll pop in and, what has happened? We have grown a big chick. No, I'm just kidding. These chickens, you can actually, if you didn't know, you can use the shrink mod to actually make the mobs different sizes. So yeah, with the shrink tool, which I think I have it stored away in here, you can actually shift punch a mob and it will change its size. So you can make them incredibly tiny like this if you absolutely want to, or make them incredibly large like this one if you want to. It's just something fun to mess with. Now, anyways, let's pick up a normal chicken out of here. And I'm going to be turning this one into all the Modium. So this will be just an immediate all the Modium, which was fixed, by the way, in the latest update. So now it actually gives you something. So you need 64 ingots to go into this thing. And then this will produce an all the Modium chicken. And now it has a texture as well. Oh, it's so beautiful looking. So let's go ahead and put the all the Modium right in here. And I already have it set up and linked with the seeds. So it should start producing and putting them in here. And then I just need to get these drawers linked into the drawer controller and things will be pretty good. Let's see. I think vibranium and unobtainium I have. So there's the vibranium. And that should make a full stack. And now we just got to do the same thing for the rest of the chickens. Oh man, all of this has just led to this moment And it's honestly kind of satisfying to watch this, so I really do want to watch this happen. But yes, there we go. We now have ourselves another chicken. Am I getting XP from this? Feels kind of weird. There we go. This is the vibranium. And so I will store that here. And it does have its initial cooldown, but then it should hopefully work and should be the same as everything else. I hope. Otherwise, our main method is going to be using the ore miners to get it. But I think having both, there's definitely nothing wrong with using both to do this. But there we go. This is the last one. Oh man, another 10, 10, 10. Of course, I guess you could always make more of these. I just feel like it's kind of super unnecessary. And there we go. Look at that. And as soon as these timers go down, they're going to start producing inside of here. And then the items will automatically go in. We'll get our feathers put in and just everything will be great. Now, if only they would fix the orange chicken, my favorite chicken. And I just, man, good thing we make all of the other things to make this die super easy, but still. You darn you, orange chicken. So now that I got the chickens automated, there's still some more things that I would like to get done today. And that is going to involve automating some stuff with thermal. Because if I plan on getting into more resource production with mystical agriculture, I really want to beef up how fast these things can go. Without, of course, using PhytoGrow. Even though we could potentially set up automation for PhytoGrow, I just don't know if we can maintain it with our current ore generation. However, we can definitely speed up the base processing of these machines. Because as of right now, all we have is these basic augments and these amplifiers, but we could accelerate this even further than base thermal because there's a mod in here that really makes that all possible. And that is going to involve this induction smelter. So the majority of these like extra add-on mods utilize auto crafting inside the induction smelter. And the cool part is we can just hook another provider up to this and we can say automatically input output the ingredients. However, on the pattern for this, we probably want to specify a few things in how this pattern actually works. So up here, I've used the mega pattern provider, which is from the mega cells mod, and it just gives us an extra row of patterns for processing, just in case we need it for this machine, even though I don't necessarily think we will. Now, setting this up, on this, I think I want it to do, I want to kind of change this, and I want it until primary crafting result has been returned, and that's going to lock the crafter. So it's going to send one process in at a time, and this is a good thing because I think that I want to prevent it from over sending something into an extra slot. Let's say if only 2 things need to be processed here, I want to prevent it from sending like a 3rd thing in. So this should be able to handle that. And let's go ahead and make one of our first processes. So for example, thermal, and then we look down here and we see there is a secondary mod. This one is called thermal energy, I believe. And this does add quite a few things. Fortunately, searching this way doesn't really work. But this is going to use up the basic resonant integral component that we already have. And it's going to then go ahead and do this particular craft. And we should be able to upgrade this directly, but we need to make this new stuff. Prismalion? Prismalion. I already have a hard time pronouncing the thermal stuff. But yeah, as you can see, the powder is not produced this way. We actually have to make it inside the induction smelter with 2 nickel, the prismarine, and the prismarine shards. So just by putting it in here, we end up getting the output result. And so we should be able to request a few of these. And see, it would be thermal ingots. Let's see, these right here. Let's go ahead and say 20 of them. And we'll see this should only send the first crafting recipe. It's then going to do the processing on it, which as of right now, is not going to be very fast. So this will be one of the first machines we actually start to upgrade. But I can go ahead and put this in. That's going to start to speed that up significantly. Not 12 times as fast, which is what ultimately the final goal will be. This is only 4 times. Well, imagine how fast 12 times is going to go. But that should produce, and as you can see, it just immediately sent the next one in. So it'll kind of lock this state. That is so cool. That's something that is a lot harder to do with refined storage. Now, this is why at the start, I wanted to go ahead and expand upon our patterns because we're going to be needing to craft a whole lot more stuff. And so I'm going to use a cable anchor right here in order to connect to that new peer-to-peer that I ended up setting up before. And, oh, I'm going to have to actually also place a cable anchor. It does appear right here. Now, if you changed up the color, then you can make them not connect, but I want to kind of keep things compact. So sometimes you're going to need to use cable anchors in order to keep things nice and compact. And so as you can see right here, that is directly connected, and the same is going to happen over on the other side. I accidentally connected the wrong cables, as you can see right here, to this and realized, yeah, this actually needs to be moved. So now with all of that hooked up, I can go ahead and take a look here, and we were definitely running out of space, but now we have all of this extra space. It's weird how I kind of separated this out, but we have all of this now extra crafting space that we can use for all of these other projects, including crafting these new processors. So to be able to see what this all looks like, I want to go ahead and get this crafted up, which needs these Enderium gears, which is going to be new. And then the rest of it should automatically be on autocraft. So we'll add that to the list. Now this requires shulker shells, and I don't have shulkers just yet. So I think I have a few of them, so we might be able to make like just one of them for now. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting craft. This also uses chorus fruit, amethyst, and gold. Hopefully not the dust. Okay, so I'm going to remove this and do gold instead. Just straight gold, so we don't have to deal with the dust problem. And then that should be a process that we're going to be doing. And then all of this crafted together. Now, the shulker shells we could get from using hostile neural networks. That could be a good way to do this. Now, this final one, I think this uses, yeah, this uses these a few things. Clay, I'm pretty sure we have a ton of. But we need to make sure this is netherite. Oh my goodness, this is an expensive craft. So here we go. We'll put these in. And yeah, we should be able to craft each phase. However, this we still have to craft, right? These gears. And yeah, this process is going to take a while. I love the reference to clay, as in like it's still the ultimate thing to make. That is kind of funny. That's a good old Minecraft thing. And then of course we're going to put them in like so, sort of staggered out like this. And perfect. So now they all have their own crafting path. And let's try to make this final one, the Stell. Oh goodness. Will we be able to craft everything? So apparently we need chorus fruit. And of course this is something that we can get with, yeah, that we can technically make over here. From this, we can go ahead and put this in here and clear this out and let that generate real quick. And get enough chorus fruit to at least get this started. You know what? Cough, cough. I'm just going to go to the end for right now and grab that. Oh, there's no need to wait. I have access to so much of this. Like, why don't I just grab it here? Yeah, with our magnet. Holy smokes. Plenty of this. By the way, when we harvest these, we actually get the Dragon's Eye, which I believe is the highest tier item inside of roots. So this is one of those crop materials that we use to make our wand. And it allows you to put more modifiers on here, so we can like increase the potency more or increase the efficiency and size more. It's pretty darn cool. All right, so let's make this 12 times and let's see how powerful this 12 times is inside of a thermal machine. That's really going to show off how powerful this mod can potentially get with these add-ons on here. Oh man, it's going to be great to also put that inside this machine, and then we'll see how fast the processing speed is. And I also think the linkage amplifiers, they also have upgrades as well that I kind of want to start the process of upgrading. And these as well have the same tiers that utilize some of the similar process. Actually, no, this is different. This is from Thermal Extra, which is another mod. Oh my gosh, as if it didn't get even more powerful. Okay, so this is a Thermal Extras mod that uses the same crafting processes, but a little bit different, as you can see right here. Well, if anything, making those other upgrades is only going to make this whole process even faster. So let's go ahead and put this in. And this is, of course, going to give it more storage for power, but it scales everything up faster. So let's go ahead and now make another one, and we'll be able to see how much faster it processes everything now. Oh my gosh, it's so much faster. Can it even maintain the amount of power required? It looks like it's handling it all right. But yeah, that's so fast compared to how fast this normally is. And it's only going to get even faster when we add the advanced and upgraded linkages. These two mods together seem to be incredibly broken. So I guess for this, I am technically going to need the good old-fashioned shulkers. So I'm gonna put them in here, and I've just got to go ahead and get a data model set up for these guys. And yeah, I'm gonna have to kill 6 of these. They should be pretty easy with this sword, as you can see. It just completely destroys these guys. Now, for a few more of these automation things that we're gonna need to get into, I kind of want to show this off because it will technically make plates, and you can use this applied energistics in order to make these plates using the hammer. I know, it sounds kind of ridiculous, but it is possible. So all we need is a pattern basically for these hammers. So I'm going to use the platinum hammer because it is one of the strongest out of all of them. And then now that we have the hammer produced, we need to kind of use this. So under thermal, I'm going to make the augments. And this is where we're going to need to make recipes for sort of each one of these. And this is how you're going to set this up. So underneath the linkage amplifier, for example, it needs electrum plates. Now we have electrum produced, but we need to do this crafting recipe. And the problem that you'll end up having is, well, let's actually make a hammer real quick. Let's make a regular hammer, even though I don't think it makes, I don't think it really matters too much, but anyways. So what you're going to want to do is when you set up this recipe, make sure you have substitutions enabled, and this, believe it or not, will work. So I can go ahead and craft this. And now when we put this in our crafting grid, all we have to do is make sure that this can craft and make sure this is set up, and it will use these with the durability. So if I go to electrum plates, as you can see, I have electrum craftable, and let's just craft 100, which will definitely use quite a few, but you'll see that it's going to just use what's available here. But if I crafted 1,000, it's going to calculate how many hammers it's actually going to need in order to complete the craft. And then you can see right here, it's crafted those hammers. So this is amazing. This opens up so many possibilities, and I don't even think this was something you can do with refined storage. But in this particular case, it is definitely doable, allowing us to automate all of these plates way simpler. Now, I just wanted to show this to you real quick. PhytoGrow is an integral part of the phytogenic insulator, and it does allow for multiple things to be outputted. And I kind of want to show that here. This stuff, however, is going to be kind of a pain to automate because you do need niter, and the only way of getting this is via the ore that we're producing here, or if you can somehow find mercury sulfate, which I have no idea what even produces this. Oh wow, we can just automate this with red dye. Oh my gosh. Well, apparently we can just automate this with red dye, produce this material that way, make PhytoGrow, and make sure we can supply these machines with PhytoGrow, because what we're going to see happen here is if I go ahead and cancel this, right now this is producing 1 and 1 to 1. But if I put this in, this one should now produce extra. So you can see it just produced 4 coarse fruit and extra seeds. And it's going to continue to do that. Look at that. It's producing 4. So long as you provide it with some PhytoGrow, this thing is going to be phenomenal at its growth rate. You can see this is the modifier that this puts on this, and the primary output is ×3. So definitely worth using this if you can. It'll definitely speed up these processes here. Oh, and by the way, it also does produce, it looks like 3 for these seeds. So yeah, this will produce quite a bit more than what you may think, and can go insanely fast. Now, I realized I was going to need niter anyways, aside from the PhytoGrow, so I have this set up over here. This is producing red dye, and then it's sending that over, or producing mercury sulfide, sorry, from the red dye. And this is being turned into niter. All you have to do is select the recipe. From here, make sure you lock the recipe so it doesn't produce anything else. And there we go. We are now producing niter very simply, just by sending an export or 2 here and an import bus to put it back into the system. And then all I need to do is just simply add a new drawer and make sure we get this set up by locking it and all that good stuff that comes along with this. Oh, by the way, in setting up this processing, realize that I'm also going to need cinnabar, and thankfully all I have to do is just add in another compactor and we'll be producing cinnabar as well. So after some extensive auto crafting, I now can make the Twilight Flux linkage amplifier, which is the max amplifier, by the way. And so this is just going to involve all of these crafting ingredients going in. These are all crafting patterns. And then it does involve a little bit of the pulverizer, so a little bit of that is going to have to go on as well. I'm going to place this one all the way down at the bottom. Trying to keep these all in separate crafters here. But these are all going to be processors that happen inside of this machine and the induction smelter. So I can go ahead and place all of these in. And then over here, actually kind of move them around so they're in kind of an order. Over here, these are all the things that needed to go inside of the pulverizer. I'm kind of curious how fast this is actually going to go once we get all of this up and running. And this is what's going to use the niter, cinnabar, and also quartz. Even though we could definitely process the quartz inside of the crushing factory, but I'm going to be using this instead. And so all we got to do is craft 3 of these. Oh boy, this needs niter dust. Did I not make the pattern for niter dust? Oh, I did not. That was the only thing I missed. I think I got wrapped up because I forgot that that I needed it. What did I need it for? Oh, right here. Yep, I totally forgot. I got wrapped up in like actually making niter that I totally forgot that I need this. Okay, so 3 of these, and that is going to jumpstart, and boy oh boy. Wow, it's actually processing really fast. Oh my goodness, just this integral component alone with these linkages is so fast. And then not to mention this going 110% faster. Oh boy. Yeah, that's gonna be remarkable. This is already going so fast. Just because I was chilling out in Discord and already told that I was saying this wrong. By the way, yeah, this is these are not Twilight, these are Twinite. I'm a gotta love when I read things wrong. I'm gonna blame dyslexia every day of the week for this. So yeah, anyways, these are ready to go, and I just want to test this on this with the Fido Grow just to see how much faster this is going to be. So we put those in, that is significantly faster, and then Fido. We toss this inside. Wait, did I not say that? Fido Grow, yeah. We'll put that in here, and how much faster is this going to make it? Oh boy, that is pretty nice. It is very, very nice. Like this is considerably fast in my opinion. All right, I just had to, because these are the Twinite radial enhancements. I should be able to put that inside of here and replace these +1s, and also replace the component that's inside this. And this is +5, +1. I have no idea the size this is going to go up to, but it's gotta be like mega, like it's just a large amount. Okay, so we should be able to tell by upgrading this. There's 3x3, 5x5, 7x7, 9x9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, 25, 27, 29, 30. Oh my god, it can go a 31 by 31. I don't even should I even do this? Because this is going to lag very hard doing this. Oh boy, but I want to test it out. I cannot not test this out. A 31 by 31. Oh my god. This is 31 blocks by 31 blocks. I did say it was broken. So that just goes to show how powerful that thermal add-on mods, I think it's the mixture of 2 of them, can be. That is just bananas, just absolutely ridiculous. But guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you learned something new. Of course, if you did, click that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're reaching close to 600,000 subscribers, and I can't do it without you guys. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy. And well, it's now time to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that huge thanks is going to go out to Secret's Blood. Thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over on the Discord, becoming a Discord premium member and supporting me in one of the best ways possible. Of course, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you, of course, in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye!